Good morning, David. I'd like to ask you to introduce yourself to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary. I'm David Maina. I am a consultant. I'm doing advisory work in the livestock and feed sector.
Mhm.
My focus largely has been on fodder, on the focus of financing, investments, and contracting on a wider scope of the continent level, but more particularly in 6 countries: Kenya, Uganda, Somalia, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and Cameroon. Basically, at least a country in every region of Africa.
Yeah.
Yes, currently I'm on an assignment with African Union, Inter-African Bureau for Animal Resources, with a project called Resilient African Feed and Fodder Systems. So that's where I'm doing my consultancy work as feed and fodder business development expert.
Excellent. Tell us more about RAFFS, the Resilient African Fodder Initiative,
Yeah.
and how far you have come
Yes.
and what you have realized in terms of your results.
So this is an AUIBA's project. Of course, AUIBA has a mandate for livestock. It's the agency, we can say the specialized agency for the African Union Commission that is specialized for livestock resources mandate. So among the many other livestock work that they are doing, this is really the first project that is focusing on feed. Otherwise, there are many other livestock projects going on, from fisheries, going to, small ruminants, animal health, animal production, quite a wide range of animal livestock resources in general. But RAFFS project was actually designed more as an emergency project. So it's quite short, an emergency project of 3 years, which came from the crisis. We call it the triple crisis, because when COVID was happening, drought was also happening, and the crisis in Middle East, Russia-Ukraine was happening. Of course, even now we have crisis. So that's where it came from. Then it was attempting to address negative impact on the feed and fodder sector that emerged out of the triple crisis. So this project has been going on. I would say that we are now on the final leg. In fact, we are the last 6 months plus an extension of about 7 months or so. And what we have been able to do so far is to mainstream coordination of the sector, but also it's good to say that this is not the only resort area. We are talking about business development in feed, but there's also data and ecosystems. There's also inventory and feed balancing, the issue of early warning systems. There's also policy. So it's a lot wider than our agenda for today, which is focusing on feed and fodder business development and the financing models for the feed and fodder sector. Yeah. So I think that would be able to give you a brief on what RAFFS, the Resilient African Feed and Fodder is basically looking at moving a feed and fodder sector in Africa that is always destabilized by climatic or other forms of shocks, to a sector that is going to be stable and progressive going forward.